Overseas, at least 2 Palestinians were killed after an Israeli airstrike hit a tent camp in the courtyard of a hospital in central Gaza. People gathered there ran for cover in the wake of the blast. At least 15 others were wounded. Thousands have been sheltering in the camp for months. Large groups of Palestinians have sought refuge in Gaza's hospitals since the beginning of the war. Israel has accused Hamas and other militant groups of operating in and around medical facilities. And humanitarian aid continues to be dropped into the Gaza Strip. The airdrops are part of an international effort to get aid into the territory, with ground operations plagued by difficulties. Humanitarian officials say deliveries by sea and air are not enough and that Israel must allow far more aid by road. The United Nations and partners have warned that famine could occur in northern Gaza as early as this month. And amid growing humanitarian concerns in Gaza, local donors are helping bring critical relief and sustenance to the fasting population. For more on that and the efforts, we are joined live by Iftikhar Ahmed, Director of Programs for Human Concern International. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having me, Dina.
You have people on the ground in Gaza helping produce thousands of hot meals. Can you tell us more about what's happening?
So just for the purpose of your listeners, Lena, Human Concern International is the oldest Muslim-led charity in Canada. We have been delivering humanitarian aid in Gaza since 2 decades. We have such a deep connection to the people that we serve, the families. We know their stories, we know their success, we know their failures. Most of them are gone or have been displaced several times during this conflict. So regarding the work that we are doing in Gaza right now during the month of Ramadan, we have established 4 kitchens in the different regions of Gaza Strip. So that's in the northern of Gaza, in Gaza City, middle of Gaza, in Deir al-Balah, and in southern of Gaza. We cater to the needs of the people during Ramadan by producing hot, fresh, cooked iftar meals. We also deliver suhoor packs, so that's for the people to have some food to eat before starting their fasting at the sunrise. And also we do cater for the needs of the people that actually cannot fast. And example are the elderly, the injured people, children, pregnant and breastfeeding women. So for those, we deliver some fresh vegetable parcels that they can consume during the day. We have been also successful last week to get 3 food trucks, 2 of which were full with food packs. And I'm just going to touch on the airdrops that you have mentioned.
Yes.
Before I joined the call.
Yep.
So as you have mentioned, these are ineffective ways of delivering aid. Actually, the amount of aid delivered via the airdrops is little. It cannot cater to the need of the people, and very dangerous, as people have been losing their lives while trying to collect them. There are thousands of trucks waiting at the borders, lining up, and the best solution is for Israel to open the borders and deliver the aid.
Right, and a lot of human rights groups have corroborated what you said, that the airdrops are insufficient, that there's so much more that needs to be done via land. How are you working around those challenges?
So we have a lot of connections. We established strong connections with local partners, with UN agencies that we work with them side to side. So either we procure locally or we partner with the UN agencies and we get some of the portion that they get into Gaza, and we distribute in the areas where sometimes it's difficult for others to distribute.
You say you've been doing work on the ground for decades now. You understand the community, their struggles, their stories. What do people need most right now, and what are you hearing from people in Gaza?
The people in Gaza and the Canadian also, our donors, they all are asking for an immediate and permanent ceasefire. because without a ceasefire, the operations, the relief operations wouldn't be able to deliver. We have seen some of our colleagues, the humanitarian workers, being targeted and killed, lost their lives while delivering the aid. So the best solution is for us to push for a permanent and sustainable ceasefire, and then have the aid cross to Gaza so we can help the people. As you mentioned, the famine is just, maybe days from Gaza. We have seen the horrific pictures coming from the ground of children that due to the severe acute malnutrition, they cannot even cry because there is no energy left in them.
I just wonder, before I let you go, Iftikhar, what about the food and the aid that's coming from Cyprus via ship? Has that been distributed? Has that been helping?
So for that one, there is no clarity about it, to be honest. We have been talking to some of the partners that actually they were able to get some of the aid, but what's going to happen when it reaches Gaza, how it's going to be safely distributed, that's something that the Israeli officials have to answer to, because as we have seen, they have been targeting the people who were gathering to receive the aid from the trucks that were crossing from similar crossing points in the north. So again, that's not an efficient way of delivering aid. The best way is for the borders to open and to have the humanitarian workers do their work in a safe environment.
Okay, and finally, before we do let you go, how can people here at home who want to help, how can they get in touch?
So Human Concern International, we have our website, humanconcern.org. They can reach out to us via our email, our phone numbers. And I do, want to send one ask for our Canadian people that to keep advocating for the rights of Palestinians, to keep pushing our Canadian government to advocate for the permanent and immediate ceasefire.
Iftikhar Ahmed, Director of Programs for Human Concern International. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate this.
Thank you for having me, Nina.